Hello everyone, meteorologist First Weather here. It is May 10th, 2024, and welcome to my first video in a multi-series installment that'll be discussing the Denver weather for the next few days here. So today I'll be talking about the forecast for the upcoming weekend and a slight look into the upcoming pattern as well. So let's get started here. This is first off a view of satellite imagery. As you can see, we have some pretty impressive cloud formations taking place with diurnal heating. You can see the pretty impressive roll of elevation here with cloud tops beginning to originate on ridges and then starting to propagate based on the prevailing wind flow. You can also see some pretty interesting features such as gravity waves in southwest Texas, the Texas Panhandle, and also eastern New Mexico, indicating some rising and sinking air motions and some stable air in the lower levels as well. And so this kind of spinning motion here, you have winds going from the southwest, the northeast, and the southeastern portion of this map. You have northwesterly winds near Nevada. This all indicates the presence of some sort of low pressure system in the vicinity here, and this is pretty well verified when you look at the water vapor imagery of the CONUS or national view, and you'll see there's definitely a feature here that's spinning up in somewhere right around the California-Nevada border, just about 100 or so or 200 miles northwest of Las Vegas. You can see a distinct spinning feature with even, it looks like an embedded eye, it seems like. So some very little impressive upper level low feature here. And so this is what we call an upper level low, where we have a low pressure system aloft, not stacked or correlated to the surface, but a area of low pressure up in the atmosphere, it's typically around 600, 500 millibars and even higher sometimes. And this upper level low can really wreak havoc on weather forecasts and weather conditions. And you can see that upper level low here sparking convection, cloud formation in areas of Utah today. Now, looking at the water vapor map in other areas, you can see in Minnesota there appears to be a pretty potent shortwave trough coming down here, indicated by these drier values. So drier, cooler air coming in from Canada, and also a big trough right here on the East Coast. This is what's been responsible for the very gloomy and rainy conditions today in New York. Things have been very cloudy, gloomy, and rainy, and as you can see, we have a primary low forming off the eastern coast because of the positive vorticity advection from this trough here as well. So let's take a look at the general national view. This is a surface analysis from the Weather Prediction Center. This right here is valid, I believe, 18Z, Friday, May 10th. You'll notice we have a cold front that's gone all the way down into the Gulf states here. You see our associated low spinning off the east coast of Virginia. And over Denver right now, a pretty, not too strong, but a relatively modest area of high pressure. But again, this is a bit misleading as well. We do have that upper level low in place, and that's going to be keeping things relatively unsettled. So if we take a look at the GFS model here, this is temperature anomalies. You can see we have a pronounced area of below average temperature anomalies over the state of Colorado, and this all, again, is associated with the upper level pattern we're currently seeing. If I take a look at the upper level vorticity, this is 500 millibar geopotential height and cyclonic vorticity, and you'll notice that we have this big spinning feature right here of essentially spinning in place. The closed low or closed circle essentially depicts this as being a closed upper level low, so it's separate from the prevailing polar jet circulation, and this right here has been causing the cloud formation and the rather interesting and sort of interesting to watch cloud formations over the southwestern U.S. today. And if we take a look at the NAM 3 kilometer, just to get a bit of a higher resolution look as to this upper air and cyclonic vorticity pattern, you'll see that this upper level low originated down right around Thursday or Friday before taking its home here around Friday evening, which is today, and that's been spinning steadily. You have you have a positive vorticity advection and divergence in the right exit region of this trough or of the upper level low. And that's been causing favorable conditions for ascent and condensation. And if we take this even further through time, we see this upper level low pretty much stays in place all the way till Saturday and early Sunday before finally exiting to the east and weakening a touch. And this will be the main player in Denver's weather over the next 48 to 72 hours. One thing I want you to notice here is that as your upper level low shifts to the east, your wind pattern changes, and that should help increase the chances for precipitation on Saturday and especially late Saturday night. As you see, your area of positive cyclonic vorticity advection definitely increases in magnitude and proximity to the Denver area. Cyclonic or positive vorticity advection simply being the advection of higher values of cyclonic vorticity into a potential area. This causes rising motion, and hence you see precipitation develop. So if we take a look at the NAM near-surface reflectivity, simulated DBZ, and 10-meter wind, this can kind of give you a good idea of what's really taking place at the surface here. So for today on Friday, you can see we have just some scattered light showers, some upslope precip on the mountains in Utah and Colorado. A lot of this is also snow in the higher elevations. And as we go through time here, you'll see that your winds are a bit light in the Denver region, but as your upper level low shifts to the east, you have your wind shift take place with winds coming more from the south and southeast, and that makes things a bit more favorable for upslope precipitation and precip generation. So when your winds were previously a bit more from the southwest, this created bit of downsloping here, so suppressing rising motion in areas east of the mountains. That's why most of the areas seeing rain for Friday or today have been east of or west of the Rocky Mountains. But as that upper level low shifts to the east, the area of favorable precip will also move with it. And the NAM here shows a pretty impressive area of scattered showers, maybe even a few embedded thunderstorms coming in during the day on Saturday, focused especially on the southeastern portion of the state as well as the Rocky Mountains. And then shows showers reaching the Denver metro area by late Saturday night into early Sunday morning. And then those showers kind of continuing, spinning on themselves, something that's very characteristic of an upper level low during the day Sunday, before finally abating by late Sunday evening into Monday. Now, we can also take a look at the HRRR, which is another high-resolution model, to see what another model is sort of outputting for precip. And what you'll notice here is that the HRRR is much less aggressive in getting this precip into the Denver metro area. It has a lot more rain to the southeast and to the south of the city, and doesn't really have much of it getting into the metro area. So there's not really too much confidence here in how much rain the Denver area will see. One thing I do think is for certain is that rainfall amounts will not be very high. I think nothing more than 1/4 to 3/10 of an inch here, and some areas might stay completely dry over the next 2 days. So the weekend won't be a complete soaking washout, but it will have the chance for showers and maybe even a scattered storm or two, depending on what time you head out and about. Now, the upper level low, like I mentioned, has also been the cause for some persistently below average temperatures over the past few days. If we take a look at the NAM model here in terms of temperatures, you'll see that for Saturday, high temperatures are expected to peak right around 60, 64 in the Denver area. The average high this time of year is around 69 degrees in Denver, so about 8 to 9 degrees below average. Similar story on Sunday, but moderating temperatures a bit. High temperatures reach in the low 60s as well. Now, one other interesting tool I can show you here is NAM simulated cloud cover, or total cloud fraction. What you'll see here is that because of the upper level low, rising motion, saturated mid-levels, higher dew points at the surface from the southwesterly and southeasterly flow, you have relatively cloudy conditions, a mix of sun and clouds at the best of it. And you can see that the NAM shows developing areas of cloud cover over Denver, continuing into Saturday night, all the way into Sunday, before things finally start to clear out a bit as we go into the day Monday. Now, one other tool that meteorologists, including myself, sometimes use to get a gauge of temperatures is the MOS output. This is a statistical tool that looks at the synoptic pattern and a bunch of other factors to kind of gauge where temperatures might end up. This right here is the MOS output for the Denver International Airport, and you'll see that for May 11th, it has a high of 66, which in my opinion is a bit too high, not really taking into account the cloud cover and upper level low just to its west. Lows overnight in the low 40s, then highs again in the mid 60s on Sunday. So a useful tool to kind of get a gauge of where you're at, but not really something you want to be using precisely for temperature measurements. If you take a close look at the forecast, you can definitely beat out MOS in most situations. Another tool right here is the Schref Ensemble Plume. This can give you a big sort of collection of ensemble members that can give you a better idea of the uncertainty or spread in temperature forecasts. So if we look here at the left half of the figure, this is the 3-hour temperature forecast for Denver International Airport. And if you look at Saturday here, we'll see that we have, this is 12Z Saturday, so lows in the low 40s, right? That's where the mean is around. And then during the day on Saturday, temperatures are expected to peak around 61 to 62 degrees. So this is a bit more in line with what I'm thinking for our forecast on Saturday. The Schref output is a physics-based ensemble, so it's not really statistic-based. And therefore, I think it's doing a better job of picking up that cloud cover and generally damp and favorable conditions for below average temperatures as well. It shows low temperatures dropping down to right around the upper 40s on Saturday or Sunday morning before highs then rebound again into the low 60s, right around 62 or 63 for your day on Sunday. So again, pretty significant, or not significant, but impressive temperatures below average. Average high again is in the upper 60s to right around 70. So a bit of a cool down here over the last couple days and into Saturday and Sunday as well. Now we can also take a look at the Schref forecasted total QPF, or quantitative precip, and this also kind of shows a similar story here. Not too much of a complete washout, not really going to see a lot of rain with this system, but you will see nuisance showers and maybe even a storm here or two. The Schref plume shows higher chances of precip, especially on Sunday. It only shows about an ensemble average around a tenth of an inch of rain on Saturday, but by the end of the day on Sunday, an ensemble average about a quarter inch to 0.34 inches of QPF here. So it does look like the higher chance for precipitation will be on your day Sunday. So if you want to get on and about, go on a hike or go out somewhere, a Saturday might be the better day to do it. Now, if we look at the kind of overall pattern over the next few days here, you'll see that the upper level low, this is the GFS model, that upper level low starts to gradually shift to the east, and that will bring the precip chances slowly to an end as you go to the northwest side of that trough. That will bring in sinking air as you have negative or negative cyclonic vorticity advection or drying out or sinking air here, and that will quickly shut off your precip during Monday. And if we take a closer look here, you'll see we also have the effect, wrong sector. We also have the effect of the downsloping winds here, winds coming directly from the north and the northwest. That will advect in cooler temperatures in the north and also cause a bit of adiabatic compression, keeping things dry as well. And one thing I can also show you to illustrate this is the forecast sounding. So if I look at the forecast sounding for 18Z Monday over the Denver International Airport region, you can see again a very dry picture here. Dew points in the upper 30s, highs in the upper 60s, very big dew point depression from your surface temperature for your Monday afternoon and early morning. And so this is just a very beautiful day for the Denver region on Monday. So after a gloomy, cloudy, and rainy Saturday and Sunday, I think Monday will be a beautiful weather day. Highs should be in the low 70s, sunny skies, and this is well supported by the sounding here showing essentially extremely unfavorable conditions for cloud formation. Any parcel that does manage to rise will instantly evaporate as the level of condensation is to the left of your temperature, so it will immediately sink, thus favoring very clear and sunny skies. And one more thing we can look at before we conclude is just a cloud output for Monday here. And you'll see that the NAM also as well, pretty much in agreement here, showing much clearer skies early Monday morning, and these will continue to clear out during the day as well. So to summarize, I think Saturday and Sunday might be cloudy, mix of sun and clouds at times, but mostly cloudy. Highs will be below average in the low 60s, for right around 61, 62. Lows overnight will be in the low to mid 40s, and especially Sunday will have the chance for some precipitation in Denver and the Denver region before drying out on Monday and seeing beautiful sunny skies for your Monday. Thank you so much, and stay tuned for my next video.